Hey to all my hustlers out there. It's Eleanor back with the Entrepreneur Hustles 21-day takeoff for 2022, where we are talking about the habits, the mindset we can build starting at the beginning of 2022 to make sure that by the end we have checked off our goals, our strategies, our vision, and our where we want to be by the end of 2022. And today we are talking about failure. Yes, failure, unfortunately, sometimes you will fail. If you doubt that, go back and read Dr. Seuss's Oh, the Places You Will Go. From an early child, you have learned sometimes you will fail. Sometimes you'll be knocked off the bike. Sometimes you won't be the first chosen in basketball. We've learned that from an early stage in our lives. But sometimes as an adult, those lessons has taught us to avoid failure, to associate failure with being a loser, with not being accomplished, with not doing the things we're supposed to be doing. And because of that association, we avoid it at all costs. We would rather take an L on our dreams than take an F, meaning failing at trying. But the only way to ensure that you are really a failure is by not trying, right? That's the only way you can assure yourself that you won't get it. Odds are odds, and sometimes people win after trying after years, and sometimes they win after twice. But failure is just a part of the process, and it's a natural and what can be beautiful part of the process when you realize that all those failures are really lessons. Oh, that's the trick. It gets very exciting when you look back at your career or your business or your life and say, all those times I failed, there was a magic nugget right there waiting for me. And if I seized that nugget and took advantage of that failure and celebrated it for all the things that it was, it taught me, it stretched me, it made me a better person, it helped me overcome obstacles I never thought I could accomplish or overcome. Those are nuggets that are invaluable to you as a business owner, you as a person, you as a parent, certainly. So you can't ignore them, you can't avoid them, but so why not run towards them? Why not run towards the failure? Because every failure is a really powerful lesson learned about what you really can accomplish, what your skill set is, areas that you can improve upon, or areas that you just did not showcase in the way that you should. Maybe they're developed and you didn't put your full, strongest foot forward when you were presenting them. All of those lessons are things you need to learn because it's not about a destination, it's about the process. And that failure that happens along the way certainly tells you the ways not to go, right? It gives you a roadmap of things to avoid, but also gives you a roadmap of who you are, what you can accomplish, what you can overcome. Obstacles that seem to be able to knock you down couldn't even touch you, especially when you are applying those failures you learn along the way. So, today, as you think about failure, maybe even your most recent failure, areas that you maybe did not quite hit the mark, how can you improve upon that failure, if you will? How can you change your course to make sure that same thing doesn't happen? How can you really embody how you've persevered throughout those failures to say, you know what, I don't hit it every time, but the times I hit it, it's magical. So maybe you're going to fail 98 times out of 100. But then you know, 2 times out of those 100s, you're going to reach success. You're going to find that winning combination. And when you know those odds, it makes it pretty easy to run towards failure, right? Because you're only running through a check mark towards your success. It's just a part of the process. So that's our tip for today. Make sure you get rid of that fear of failure and you actually run towards the failure, run towards those lessons, run towards getting better, but becoming better and stretching yourself further than you ever thought you could go. So you can always check us out at entrepreneurhustle.co or check us out on YouTube and make sure you tune in to the rest of our 21-day takeoff for 2022.